So we all know these productivity YouTubers. They're great. I love them. I watch their videos. I'm subscribed, and I cannot really fault them for what they're doing. But ChatGPT, of all things, recently pointed out a contradiction actually in how I've been working, and I suspect that this might be so in the lives of many, if not all of you, if you are into that kind of space. And today I'm going to talk about what that contradiction is, how we can then continue still to get what we want out of this content, but in doing so we can avoid this quiet risk that is in the background, particularly for us as neurodivergent people. So let's get into it. Now, I'm not saying in this video that we should not try and be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. That is not at all what I'm saying. I'm not trying to put any of you off these creators, because as I say, I think they're great. Before we get into the thing that ChatGPT pointed out to me, I'm going to share one of my own concerns, which has always been boiling away in the background, but somewhat quietly, and it comes back to something I talk about a lot on this channel, and that is the fact we can only have one priority. And we know that this productivity space and what they sell or give or offer in their content is pretty seductive, right? A lot of them are very, very wealthy men and women, and they have what look like pretty fantastic lives. And who doesn't want to be rich, their own boss, and make decisions in their own life, have that kind of autonomy that these people have? My concern around that is these people generally are trying to sell us ease and, like Tim Ferriss, 4-hour work week or whatever it is, and trying to work less. But I see a lot of people getting into that, and then they enter into like a hustle culture, and they're working 70, 80, 90-hour weeks, but that is really not what this kind of content is about. So my question for you is, if you are active in this space, and this is kind of for you, does working with this content, does it mean that you sacrifice things that are actually more important for you, or dare I say, your one true priority, whatever that is? Because really getting into the grind, we are going to be sacrificing a lot of things. Family time, recovery time, being with our partner, or meeting a new partner, or meeting new friends, whatever we really like doing, because we're just in the grind. So do ask yourself that question: am I sacrificing for the sake of productivity and this kind of whole lifestyle that's sold on YouTube? Am I sacrificing something that is actually more important by entering into the hustle? Because it's interesting, when I work with clients and I talk to them about their priorities and balancing work and life and all of that, no one has ever said that their priority is health. And I kind of suspect that when prompted, basically everyone would go, actually, yeah, health has to be my priority, because what use is anything else if I'm not well enough to enjoy it, or dare I say, if I'm not even here to enjoy it? And we start coming to the thing that ChatGPT pointed out to me, because recently I had to go to hospital because my heart was playing up. And I think this probably would not have been such an issue for someone who was neurotypical, who had more ability to feel what was going on inside them and also connect to their emotions. But hey, here we are. And I ended up in the hospital. And after all the tests and examinations, the doctor said, basically, I think you're just not letting yourself switch off enough. Which, would you have it, is exactly something that ChatGPT had said to me before, and framed it, which I find quite helpful, through this lens of let your central nervous system shut off for a while, where nothing is demanded of you, nothing's expected of you, you're not working towards some goal, you're not working against a time constraint, you're just you're binging a box set, you're taking a walk, but you don't have to be back home by a certain time, you're not having an active conversation, you're just enjoying, relaxing, recovering. So we neurodivergent people have a lot of issues here, right? One, we struggle to know when enough is enough sometimes, and we don't know when our body is telling us that enough is enough, and we just struggle leaving things half done. And this, of course, is coupled with a much greater risk of burnout. And when we have like an autistic burnout or ADHD burnout, as we know, that is much more pernicious and hard to come back from than like a neurotypical version of burnout. So we have to really be careful here. So when we enter into this kind of world of productivity, which is great, again, I think it is great, some ground rules is we have to be boundaried. We have to be boundaried from the offset, and we have to be conscious and purposeful in what we're doing. That means asking yourself, is what we are doing here, what you are doing here, is that working for you? Is work working for you, or are you becoming like a slave to the grind? And when you set goals for yourself, ask yourself, how am I going to feel when I'm halfway through this? How long is this actually going to take? And you might want to ask someone else to chip in on that, particularly if you're an ADHD person. Ultimately, from all of this content, we're not looking to take the hustle, the grind out of it. We are looking to take this efficiency and the autonomy, like that, I feel, is what they are trying to effectively sell to us, right? Having more freedom, more time. And that does not mean this hard grind where we sacrifice everything for years and years and years. The path upwards to where we want to be doesn't necessarily have to be this absolute slog where we're sacrificing our time, relationship, health, all of these really, really important things. We do not have to sacrifice those, and that is the point. Okay, so be aware of that. Take that in to your adventures on YouTube. As I say, I think these guys are all great. Do use them, do enjoy them, but be aware of your priorities, be aware of your boundaries, be purposeful in just how you use them and how you apply those in your life. And I'll see you in the next video.